When it comes to your business, no one provides better security and life safety systems than Safety Systems.
Protect your employees, your products, and your records with a single phone call.
Professional technicians ready to design, install, and monitor your cutting-edge fire and security systems. Electric locks and surveillance cameras. Emergency and after-hours response and repairs.
Trust Safety Systems, East Tennessee's leader in security and life safety systems.
At Phoenix Conversions, for 25 years, we've been the place to take your car, truck, or SUV for custom accessories and conversions. Whether it's that time of season, you want to personalize your ride for performance, or just stand out from the crowd, Phoenix Conversions carries the area's largest selection of custom accessories, built tough and fitting your everyday life. When it has to be the best, call Phoenix Conversions.
Have you been hurt in a car wreck? Every red dot on this map marks a car wreck case worked by the car wreck attorneys, Bill Hotz and Associates, like this one on the Andrew Johnson Highway.
Ann got hurt in a wreck between two trucks. The insurance companies blamed each other and just wouldn't be fair. So we took it to court and got Ann a settlement of $180,000. We've been fighting these battles for 30 years and we're ready to fight for you right now.
Experience you can trust. Bill Hotz and Associates.
For nearly 40 years, East Tennesseans have trusted Madisonville Marine. They offer great prices, terrific customer service, the full line of Yamaha outboard motors, and the area's biggest selection of boats. Aqua Patio Pontoons offer unmatched performance, relaxing comfort, and dozens of options. Live life on the water with Aqua Patio Pontoons. Check out Aqua Patio Pontoons for yourself at Madisonville Marine. There's no better place to buy a boat.
The following is a presentation of Fox 43 Sports.
You are watching the Sports Source Kickoff with John Pennington, presented by Madisonville Marine.
Good Thursday evening and welcome into the Sports Source Kickoff presented by Madisonville Marine. Happy to have you with us. Huge game with Florida coming up on Saturday, so we've brought out a special package today. We've tweaked our format a little bit. Still going to be up tempo, but we're changing things around just a tad so we can get more questions in about the Gators. Let's just dive right into this thing, this first segment of our program, always brought to you by Madisonville Marine. You see their website right there. For more than 40 years, there's been no better place to buy a boat in East Tennessee. All right. Want to welcome in the panelists for this evening. We have Jimmy Himes from Sports Radio WNML. From SECCountry.com, we have Mr. Mike Griffith. And right down there, VFL and ex-NFL defensive end, Will Overstreet. Guys, thank you for being with us. You see clocks on the desk, you see buzzers, just wait. I told the guys before the show, you don't know how to make good television until you made bad television. So we'll see if this is good or bad in terms of an idea. So you want to stick around for that. I'm going to start with Will Overstreet down there, though. Each week we talk about what's at stake in this game. You could lose this game and still win the SEC East. So I don't think it's the East. I think it's positivity. I think if you lose this game, you're going to have a lot of fans that come right off the bandwagon. I think the local media starts asking more questions. I think the national media starts getting out their long swords. This one could get very ugly very quickly with a loss to Florida.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, for this kind of game, you kind of think about it last year, right before halftime against Georgia. Things don't turn around at that point. You knew what was about to start happening. You knew that people were starting to be kind of sharpening the knives and getting ready to go. The conversation was about to change over to he's no longer our guy. And I think you have to worry about that anytime you're in a game like this with the expectations of what this season was from the very beginning, that you've got that group of people in the middle now that are kind of like on the edge of, if you win it, I move closer towards you being our guy. If you lose this game, I'm going to move away.
It's huge. It's clearly the biggest game in the Butch Jones era. Doesn't mean it's life or death and he's going to be fired if they don't win this thing, but you do have to wonder if the clock starts, because people start wanting, okay, what's next? Fair or not. I think that's where it's going if you don't win this one.
And once you lose them, you've lost them.
Yeah, it's hard to get them back. And if you lose this one to a backup quarterback, that will be thrown at you as well. All right, I'm going to ask you to start, Jimmy, on our 3 up, 3 down each week. We name 3 Vols who are playing well or we think could make a big impact in this weekend's game. Then we list 3 who aren't doing so well. Let's start and be positive. 3 up. Who's your first up?
I like Josh Malone. I think he's performing very well. He's got 4 touchdown catches. He had 2 all of last season. I think every one of them's been for at least 20 yards. And he's been open a couple of times when he was missed. I think he's doing very well. His key is going to be his ability to beat press coverage against Florida, because you know they're going to take those corners and try to crowd him at the line of scrimmage and redirect him, which makes me wonder if Tennessee's going to use him off the line a little bit, trip set, maybe in the slot some. We'll see.
Could be 6 touchdowns if Dobbs had hit him a couple times last week. Mike Griffith, who's up for you?
Maybe a little motion even. Jason Kroom is a guy that I think could make a difference in this week's game. I think he's a tough matchup. I think we saw last week he made an impact. I think he helped spark the Tennessee offense after Wolf had gotten off to a slow start. I like this guy's composure. He came out, he dealt with the media this week. And I like the way he presented himself, and I just got to feel that this guy can be a difference maker, and maybe a guy that Tennessee has held back a little bit for this football game.
A little concerned with his blocking last week. Didn't look quite as up to snuff blocking as he does receiving. But depending on how you use him, utilize him the right way, that won't matter. Will Overstreet, who you got as an up?
Last week, really played his best game he's played all year. Derek Barnett, it just had a great game. Now, it doesn't show up in the stat sheet always of sacks, but the pressures he caused last week killed drives. They killed plays just as well as a sack. This game, he's got to be able to perform. Even though they've got a backup quarterback in Florida, losing Cam Sutton does not help us in that secondary. They've got some great playmakers. So what you have to do this week is you have to have a great game again and get a lot of pressure on this quarterback. Make the clock start running in his head that he doesn't have time to sit back there and go through all his reads.
Well, let's just do the hairpin turn and keep it with you. Let's go the other way now. Who's down?
Wolf. I mean, the tight end right now, not doing a very good job blocking. Obviously, last week you have a touchdown opportunity and you drop it, it's thrown right to you. We're not going to get a lot of passes that can go for touchdowns at times that are free and clear where the offensive line blocks and everything goes well. If you get your opportunity, you got to be able to take it. And the other thing, he's got to be able to block. He's got to be a strength there. You can't be out in the bubble screen area. We have a play set up for Kamara or somebody out there in the edge, and you're the one guy that gets beat by somebody like a DB. So that's an issue there.
Mike Griffith, who's down?
Coleman Thomas. It doesn't matter where they line him up. The defense seems to find him and beat him, whether he's inside playing center. He had some trouble. And then, Ohio's premier pass rusher basically said, hey, they moved a guy outside, and it was great because he couldn't play in space. Pretty much gave the scouting report, and you wonder if Chance Hall comes back. You wonder where Coleman Thomas goes if he's still in the 5. I know he's had some injuries, John, but still, you're asking who's playing good and who's not. He hasn't looked great to me.
No, he hasn't. And I do think the injuries play a role, though, because he didn't look this bad at center last year. So injuries at some point play a role in it. Jimmy, who's down?
Emmanuel Mosley at cornerback. I think he's just playing too soft in coverage. Tennessee last week against Ohio, when Sutton went out, it looked like Ohio, they picked on Buchanan, but they also picked on Mosley. And he's just given up so many passes underneath, it's like he's scared to get beat deep. Of course, if I was a cornerback, I guess I'd be scared to get beat deep. But you can't give that soft of a corner and allow those receptions like he has. I think he needs to pick his game up.
Okay, I'm going to throw in Preston Williams there. Not that you bench him forever or kick him off the team, but right now, as Will said, how many times does the line give Dobbs a clean pocket, and how many times does Dobbs hit a guy in the hands? If that happens, you can't afford something bad to happen with this passing game on the receiving end. And so far, Williams has 8 catches on the year, but he's had a drop TD, a batted ball for an interception in your red zone, and a fumble last week that he did recover. But that's one bad play for every 2.7 good plays. Got to worry about that. All right, let's talk about the edge. I want to put up a graphic here and ask Will Overstreet very quickly, as the former player, here's what people have in their favor. You got Tennessee with a home field advantage, Checker Neyland, they got the Smoky Grays, College Game Days in town, and they are getting tons of bulletin board material. Florida's talking. The downside, they got the pressure. Florida, on the other hand, 11-game win streak. They're making guarantees, trash talk, and they're the lower-rated team. They're the underdog not only in the game but in the SEC East. However, overconfidence could be the issue. Who's got the advantage this Saturday, Will Overstreet, in that area, the intangibles?
I think Tennessee should have the clear advantage in that area. Now, it's where I would want to be. I mean, even though you say they're the underdog, Florida doesn't see themselves as the underdog. They see themselves as the rightful person, and they're acting like it. They're trash talking. They're talking confidently. And it's always the same thing. Pride comes before the fall. So for me, I'd much rather be the guys coming after and saying, they can keep talking and keep running the house, because I would just be getting madder and more ready for this game each and every day. It'd be adding to me of what am I going to do in that game.
All right, very good. Speaking of what are we going to do in this game, we'll be asking these guys. We've got 4 questions in the next segment. We're going to talk everything about Tennessee's receivers, injury list. Who does that favor? We'll talk also about getting Hurd, Kamara, and Dobbs in the same backfield at the same time. Come on back on the Sports Source Kickoff.
For nearly 40 years, East Tennesseans have trusted Madisonville Marine. They offer great prices, terrific customer service, the full line of Yamaha outboard motors, and the area's biggest selection of boats. Boats like G3 Suncatcher pontoons, coming in a variety of sizes. G3 Suncatchers combine stylish lounge areas with cutting-edge technology. Check out G3 Suncatchers for yourself at Madisonville Marine. There's no better place to buy a boat.
Games and Things wants to put more fun in your life with a new pool table. Games and Things features a huge selection, including Brunswick and Olhausen, 2 of the most respected brands in the industry. Traditional, contemporary, rustic, or formal, Games and Things has many styles to choose from. You can even customize the pool table to fit your own personal taste. See the selection online at OurGameRoom.com or visit our award-winning showroom at Kingston Pike and Lovell Road.
Games and Things, 'cause life should be fun, fun, fun.
At Phoenix Conversions, for 25 years, we've been the place to take your car, truck, or SUV for custom accessories and conversions. Whether it's that time of season, you want to personalize your ride for performance, or just stand out from the crowd, Phoenix Conversions carries the area's largest selection of custom accessories, built tough and fitting your everyday life. When it has to be the best, call Phoenix Conversions.
Have you been hurt in a car wreck? Every red dot on this map marks a car wreck case worked by the car wreck attorneys, Bill Hotz and Associates, like this one on I-40 near Asheville Highway.
Ed got rear-ended by a truck and hurt his back. He couldn't have an MRI because of an old war injury, so the insurance company refused to pay. We filed a lawsuit and they paid. Ed fought for all of us, and we fought for Ed.
Experience you can trust. Bill Hotz and Associates.
Welcome back into the Sports Source Kickoff. This segment brought to you by Games and Things. You know, life should be fun, and you see their website right there. That's how you make life fun. OurGameRoom.com, Games and Things. All right, it is a massive game, so we're toying with our usual format this week. 8 questions about UT Florida spread over the next 2 segments, all rapid fire, about a minute each. We have the clock here to count you down, but also, once I ask the question, each of you gets to ring in. Yeah, this will work. This will fail miserably, which should be good television that you can sit and laugh at. All right, first question. Are injuries a bigger issue for Tennessee, or are they a bigger issue for Florida? Jimmy Himes is going to get this one. We actually have a graphic to put up here, I believe. Or we don't. Okay, the injury. I'm sure you're familiar with the injury list. Hey, there it is. Chance Hall back. Jalen Reeves-Maven expected to play. Josh Smith play. Darren Kirkland Jr. out. LaTroy Lewis out. Probably. Cortez Sapp. Cam Sutton, the red. Then in Florida, you got Antonio Callaway, who won the game last year with a big play. He's going to be back. Luke Del Rio out, and then their offensive lineman is out. Bigger deal for Tennessee or Florida, Jimmy, and we'll start the clock there.
Bigger deal for Tennessee. I think when you take out Sutton and you take out Kirkland Jr., that's a heck of a lot of pieces on that defense. 2 great players that you're taking away. I don't know how healthy Jalen Reeves-Maven is going to be. And also, I have seen Florida backup quarterbacks beat Tennessee. Tyler Murphy did it. Treon Harris, who wasn't any good, did it. And Appleby was in a close race with Del Rio. I think he's a pretty good quarterback. Now, I know Bob Shoup has a book on him because his brother coached him for 2 years at Purdue. But I'm going to say the injuries have a greater impact on Tennessee.
19 interceptions for this young man, and supposedly he turned it over a lot in spring, which is why Del Rio won the job. Anybody want to disagree and say Florida? Apparently not. That's good. So we'll restart the clock. The next question. Will Tennessee open the playbook?
This is simple. They're going to do whatever works. I mean, of course they're going to open the playbook. If they're struggling offensively, doing what they've been doing, then of course they're going to try different things. We saw it last year. They've got to find a way to get all those Florida Gators out of the box so they can open up the run game. But it doesn't matter what play they call, because at the end of the day, John, this is going to come down to whether or not Josh Dobbs can make plays and extend plays after the primary call has broken down.
So, okay. We have a counteract.
I don't know about counteract. I just say that they've got to do something to get their best players on the field, get matchups with the Florida's weak players. This is one of those games. They've got strengths of the corners. Guess what? If you want to get a passing game going, it's probably not against those guys necessarily.
Yeah.
You got to watch that. Now, you could see one of your guys can dominate, but you got to think about how do we get the passing game when we're not lined up against those cornerbacks. Who can we go after? What guy can we put on a linebacker, on one of these other people?
All right, I just want to see what happens when this thing hits 0. 2, 1. Hey, there we go. It's even got an air horn. Let's reset the thing. All right. Question number 3. Does Tennessee even need to be more wide open? Do they need an I formation, Evan Berry on offense, or would just using Dobbs, Kamara, Hurd in the same backfield from the get-go? Okay. Jimmy again.
I think they need to be more wide open. I like the idea of using Hurd and Kamara in the backfield together, and I think there are things you can do off of that. But Tennessee scored last year on a receiver throwback to Dobbs for 58 yards. They had a 24-yard jump pass by Kamara. I think you have to mix in some of those plays. I don't know if they're going to work, but I think you got to try. I don't think their offensive line is good enough to sit there and run a lot of the plays they've been running and have success. I think you have to mix it up, misdirection.
But Jimmy, here's the thing.
Take advantage of Florida's speed.
If it's a 0-0 game, the last thing you want to do is turn the ball over with some of these jump plays.
It's going to be 0-0 when they start.
You've got a good defense. Play a little field position. Give your defense a chance to make plays against Appleby, a guy who I know is very good, but at the same time has been turnover prone. So open up the. Go ahead.
Turnover prone, but I mean, you got a guy right now, we don't have our cornerbacks. We don't know against their wide receivers. If we're getting that offense on the field too much, it doesn't take a very good quarterback to figure out how to get that wide receiver the ball when our cornerbacks that aren't very experienced are doing it.
All right. Well, here's the thing to remember, too. I wonder, talk about being wide open, does Butch Jones look at this and say, they got a backup quarterback who's mistake prone. Let's play it closer to the vest. Wait for them to make a mistake. Wouldn't be my approach. But I wonder about a coach who's become more and more conservative as he's been at UT. Might look at it that way. Last question, this is for everybody. Is winning the rushing battle as big a deal as it used to be in this series before the rise of the spread offense? Last year, Tennessee outrushed Florida 254-109, lost the game. I think the spread overinflates some of these rush numbers to where it's not like the late 90s, early 2000s before the spread came in.
It has to do with the no huddle. That's what we're really talking about here, John. It's not that they're running the spread, it's that they're running a hurry up no huddle. It takes the time of possession out of the equation.
Oh, I think running it 75% of the time does matter.
You gotta use your buzzer. Okay.
Sorry, I do think 75% of the time running the football does impact it. So I don't think it's just the clock and the up tempo. Does that play a role? Yeah, but some of it is a wishbone, an option offense, like the old wishbone, the fear. You're going to run more. You're going to control the clock. So I think that's where the issue.
But if you're hurrying up, you lose the time of possession, Jimmy. It doesn't become a factor.
I'm going to say the run game still matters because Florida's been running the spread for a long time. I think the 26 times they played each other since what 90? Yeah. I think the team that's run for the most yards is 124. I think what happened last year was a little bit of an aberration on typically what happens in this series.
We'll see.
Don't break down in the fourth quarter. You win that ball game. You stop them. So then it holds true. You ran the most. You won the game.
Well, we're 5 seconds over. 4, 3, 2, 1. There we go. When we come back, we got 4 more questions. We're going to talk about Tennessee's approach to this game. Butch Jones treating it just like another game. Is that the right strategy? Bad strategy? Come on back.
Games and Things wants to put more fun in your life with beautiful home theater seating. No matter your budget or room size, Games and Things has you covered with a wide variety of styles and configurations, from simple comfort to the latest seating innovations. Watch the big game, a movie, or your favorite TV show in the lap of luxury. See the selection online at OurGameRoom.com or visit Games and Things, Kingston Pike at Lovell Road, because life should be fun.
Games and Things, 'cause life should be fun, fun, fun.
When it comes to your home, no one provides better security and audio-video systems than Safety Systems. Control everything using your tablet or smartphone, whether it's a hidden TV or the temperature in your home. Lighting, doors that open and close, lock and unlock, cameras that allow you to watch your home from wherever you may be, all at the touch of a button. Trust Safety Systems, East Tennessee's leader in security and audio-video systems.
For nearly 40 years, East Tennesseans have trusted Madisonville Marine. They offer great prices, terrific customer service, the full line of Yamaha outboard motors, and the area's biggest selection of boats. Boats like G3 John boats, built Gator Tough. G3 John boats include everything you need in a workhorse boat, plus an extremely smooth ride. Check out G3 John boats for yourself at Madisonville Marine. There's no better place to buy a boat.
At Phoenix Conversions, for 25 years, we've been the place to take your car, truck, or SUV for custom accessories and conversions. Whether it's that time of season, you want to personalize your ride for performance, or just stand out from the crowd, Phoenix Conversions carries the area's largest selection of custom accessories, built tough and fitting your everyday life. When it has to be the best, call Phoenix Conversions.
Welcome back into the Sports Source Kickoff, presented by Madisonville Marine. This segment brought to you by Phoenix Conversions. When it has to be the best, folks, Phoenix Conversions, years and years and years. Same location. They do a great job. You see their website right there. All right, we got 4 more questions on Tennessee, Florida. As we did in the last segment, I want you guys to buzz in if you want the question. First question, Bob Shoop telling the media yesterday that he was told he was hired to win this game was blank.
Calculated and brilliant, because it puts all the pressure on him. It takes the pressure off of his players, and now we're talking about Bob Shoop's calls and Bob Shoop's schemes, and that's exactly what he wanted to do. This was a calculated move on Shoop's part to make that comment.
Then better win it, otherwise you're going to be run out of town. They're going to be wondering why you didn't keep the other guy. So I think right now they've got a lot of pressure on him, and if that's truly calculated, he's taking the pressure off his team. But I don't really think it takes the pressure off these guys. They've been beat. They know what the expectations were coming into this year. It's on them.
And he's also not on the field. So when he's saying I was hired to win this game, by default that means you guys on defense that I'm coaching. I agree with you. I think it was calculated. I also think it's dangerous. All right, next question. Do you trust Tennessee's receivers to beat press coverage against Florida's elite cornerbacks? Jimmy?
No, I don't need 60 seconds.
They've struggled the last couple of years with it.
They have struggled against Florida's press coverage for many, many years. And I remember going back, and even going back to Eric Gaines, I remember again they went down to Florida and nobody could beat press coverage. And all they did from Florida's defensive backs were line up at the line of scrimmage and shut these receivers down. I don't think Tennessee's receivers in recent years have been very good at that, and I think Florida's got 2 great cornerbacks at press coverage.
And if they can't get it done this week, it could get Josh Dobbs killed.
But Josh Dobbs can beat press coverage with his legs, because when you play man-to-man coverage downfield, you turn your back to the ball, and that could open up some very large lanes for Dobbs at Florida's rush. If these guys aren't disciplined well and staying in their rush lanes, you know that you played against those mobile quarterbacks.
Mobile quarterbacks are hard to go after, I tell you what. And if they do have that, it presents an advantage, it presents an opportunity. But if Tennessee wants to design a passing game this game, they need to plan on not the 2 guys being covered by those corners. They need to find another passing game.
All right, that wouldn't involve Alvin Kamara, would it?
Maybe.
All right, here we go. Next question. Kyler Kervitson on the Sports Source said last Sunday, and Mike DeBoard said yesterday, that the offensive line's troubles tie back to a lack of continuity. Is it legitimate to blame continuity, however, when you've had the changes on the line? Will's got it first. When you had the changes on the line, due to the fact they weren't playing well.
I don't think continuity. I mean, continuity may play in a small bit, but when you have 3 guys rushing, and you got 5 guys on the offensive line, and all 2 of the 3 get back and hit the quarterback after about 2 seconds, that's called just getting whipped. And let me tell you, why are they not having continuity? Because the guys that were getting whipped, they had to try to move to find someplace else, or they had to put them on the bench. So right now, it's all about attitude and ability, because right now you're going up against Appy State, and you're talking about bench guys. I mean, this has been a wholesale of bad technique, not intense, not tough. They've got to just change their mindset, because right now you don't see the killer mindset of what you need in an offensive line.
I want to quickly support what he said from this standpoint. The offensive line talked about versatility. They were going to teach them to play these different positions. Right. So don't come back and say, well, we don't have continuity. That's why we're not very good up front. No, it has to do with injuries. That's why you're moving people around. They're not playing well.
Yeah. All right, very good. Let's restart it. Well, we'll let the horn sound. There we go. Let's go ahead and restart this one. Last one. Everyone can jump in on this one. Butch Jones says he understands the magnitude of this game, but he also doesn't want to build it up more than any other game. Good strategy or bad strategy?
Coach talk. That's all this is right now. I mean, he's telling the media what every coach would always say. This is now that one in our game. We don't look ahead. We don't do all this stuff. That's bull. I mean, let's just face it. In real life, fans know this is a big game. The coaches know this is a big game. They know their job. They know the world's going to change on them if they lose this ball game. The players know it. This is the game you're focused on at the beginning of the season, of training camp, of everything else you go into. What we do against Florida.
I think they've kept the lion in the cage. They've kept the lion in the cage. There's no reason to talk. They've got nothing they can say. Florida's won 11 in a row. I think Tennessee and Butch Jones have handled the pregame fine.
10 seconds.
I agree with Mike. I think they've handled it well, like with Will also. I don't think you need to make it bigger than it is. All that does is make you play tight. And I think I've seen Tennessee teams play tight in the past against Florida or Alabama.
Agreed. And people always point to, well, Urban Meyer, Jim Tressel didn't duck it at Ohio State. Jim Harbaugh isn't ducking it at Michigan. Big difference, last game of the year. You can build and build and build for that last game of the year. You make the biggest game of your year, life or death, in week 4. That doesn't set up well if you lose in week 4. You're dead for the rest of the season. So I don't have a problem with the way he's handling it. All right, when we come back, the line opened at 10. It's dropped to 6.5. Why Tennessee will or won't cover that spread? Come on back.
From East Tennessee to the Carolinas, no job is too big for Benedict Construction. Patios and decks, custom remodels, even custom homes. With a reputation for excellence, rely on the custom work of Benedict Construction.
For nearly 40 years, East Tennesseans have trusted Madisonville Marine. They offer great prices, terrific customer service, the full line of Yamaha outboard motors, and the area's biggest selection of boats. The most popular pontoons on the water. Sweetwater pontoons are built to last, and Sweetwater pontoons come in a variety of layouts and designs. Check out Sweetwater pontoons for yourself at Madisonville Marine. There's no better place to buy a boat.
At Phoenix Conversions, for 25 years, we've been the place to take your car, truck, or SUV for custom accessories and conversions. Whether it's that time of season, you want to personalize your ride for performance, or just stand out from the crowd, Phoenix Conversions carries the area's largest selection of custom accessories, built tough and fitting your everyday life. When it has to be the best, call Phoenix Conversions.
Have you been hurt in a car wreck? Every red dot on this map marks a car wreck case worked by the car wreck attorneys, Bill Hotz and Associates. Like this one on North Peters Road.
Lee got hurt when she was broadsided by a speeding car. The insurance company offered nothing, so we went to court and got a verdict of $99,000. We've been fighting these battles for 30 years, and we're ready to fight for you right now.
Experience you can trust. Bill Hotz and Associates.
From kitchens and bathrooms to custom patios, decks, living rooms, and even shutters, let the remodeling team at Benedict Construction turn your home into your dream home.
Welcome back into the Sports Source Kickoff presented by Madisonville Marine here on Fox 43. Safety Systems does a tremendous job, whether it's security or entertainment needs you might have. Give them a call. Give VFL JJ Surlis a call. Also want to remind you that tomorrow, he works at Safety Systems. I'm not saying just call JJ Surlis, but call him about Safety Systems. I'll throw Will Overstreet. Here's his phone number. The Pigskin panel tomorrow at 4 on Sports Radio WNML. Will and I will join Jimmy and John Wilkerson. Also coming up on Sunday, Sunday show at 11 a.m. on Channel 6. That is either going to be the biggest party we have ever had or just a wild Irish wake. And maybe with some wild Irish rose. But it'll be a fun show either way. I'm guessing it will be our highest rated show ever, one way or the other. Finally, why they will or why they won't. Tennessee opened as a 10-point favorite. You see 3 of the big sports books in Vegas have it down to 6.5. Very quickly, guys, I want to know, and I never start with Mike. I'm going to start with Mike. I want to know why Tennessee will or won't cover the spread. And you don't have to buzz in.
No, I don't. I think Tennessee's going to win by a touchdown, so I think they're going to cover the 6.5-point spread. I think the energy that the Vols will play with, we haven't seen it yet. You've seen a distracted football team that hasn't put it all together. I think they are that one guy away on many plays from executing. I don't think they've been that far off. But in football, when one guy makes a mistake, Will, it blows it for everyone. On defense, one guy makes a mistake, it's 6 points.
That's exactly right. But I have to say, when you look at this game and you look at the injuries we lost, I don't know how you say that Tennessee's going to win by 7 points. So, I mean, I'm going to say they're not going to cover the 6.5.
Okay, because of the injuries.
Because of injuries and just the way they've been playing and putting on tape, I just can't say you're going to beat Florida by more than 6.
Okay, Jimmy.
I don't think Tennessee covers. I don't like Tennessee's offensive line where it is right now. I don't think Tennessee is equipped in the passing game to take advantage of anything there. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. This may be 17-13. If you get to 20, you're going to win this game. But I don't think Tennessee covers.
Okay, do you think they win?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not really confident.
I don't think they'll cover. I think they'll win. If I were in Las Vegas and playing roulette, the thing came up red 11 times in a row, eventually it'll come up black. That's where I'm putting my money. So I think Tennessee's due for Florida with a backup quarterback who turns the ball over. They're due for Florida to come out and have a terrible game against Tennessee for once. We will see you Sunday at 11 on WATE. See you right back here next Thursday on Fox 43.
This has been a presentation of Fox 43 Sports.